Yeah, that's. I said to John, I'm been labelled as a bully down at the gym. I got a mention in most of the episodes, and
Did we
I
mention
didn't
you
feel
as a
like
bully
it was
though?
exactly positive.
I don't think. That's total BS. I think
It's all good, mate.
it is positive.
It's all
All right, so we are live on the Tranquil Gi podcast, and we have got Boss finally after all
thanks for
this
having
time.
me.
And I've got my co-host Leo.
G'day. Well, can't believe we're going straight into it. There's like
If you want to go back,
No.
I mean, yes, you can.
no behind the
I'm good. That's
scenes.
Sure.
right there, right
Okay.
there.
You sure?
Awesome.
Right there.
Perfect. Yep.
No behind the
Up
scenes
there?
of what we're going to
No,
talk
not
about.
there.
Just there, or
Jeez.
There it is. There it is.
there. All right, nice. Yeah, so it's been a while actually.
Yeah.
So we've been. I think the last time we did a podcast was about, I think, beginning of September, and since then we've been cruising around.
You decided to travel to the other side of the world.
I did. So, well, first we had the gathering in
Yeah.
Melbourne, which was pretty cool. And then I shot off to the UK for a week, and then I came back, and then Leo went off to LA to go to all of his LA friends there. And yeah,
My
anyway, so
Hollywood-
now we're
my
back
Hollywood
finally.
celebrity friends.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of glad because I would have had to binge watch a whole lot more if you were still producing shows during that time. So
I'm impressed you went through all of it, Boss.
Well, I don't know if I've hit all of them, but I must have done most of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I enjoyed most of them too.
nice.
Most.
Yeah.
Some of shit.
Oh, that first one, wow.
Three
that
white
was-
men trying to figure out technology.
Yeah.
That one's a
that
good
was well. That was actually when we were trying to do it all remotely. So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
thought,
yeah.
okay, maybe we can all be at the house and then, or our own houses,
Yep,
and then we
yep.
can just dial people in, which I think we will do like
Eventually,
later,
yeah.
eventually. But yeah, that was kind of, and then it was the guys using their phones, and it was like, yeah, a bit of a.
Oh,
So we learned
you
a
got to
lot
figure
during-
these things
during
out.
this,
But
yeah, exactly.
Let's touch on the gathering because what does that mean?
Yeah, the gathering. So the gathering is a whole bunch of, so all the Will Machado schools from New Zealand and Australia coming together for a competition, and it's always held in Melbourne. And we try and get a bunch of people together to go across. And so last year it was just myself, only because I'm just so disorganized that I didn't get to tell people too much up front, but. Yeah, this year was really good. So we had myself, Boss, Lachlan, Jason, and Adam. We went, so it was 5 of us that went across. Yeah, it was just quite cool.
yeah, it was good.
And
Did everybody compete?
everyone competed
except
for Jason.
Yeah,
I think Jason. I think he
I
injured
think he was
himself.
geared up to, but
Yeah.
last minute he couldn't.
injured himself. So yeah, so first time for me in black belt division, like
Yeah.
going up against. So that was a bit weird.
Who was your
And-
first fight, John?
First fight was, I forget the guy's name now, but he was
He always does
he was an
no
older
research
he was
on
an older guy.
Oh, he's an older guy.
He was an older guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'd
And I
been
thought,
black belt for a while then.
been a black belt for a very long time. Yeah. And I thought to myself when I went into the man, I was like, I actually saw him fight Andrew Craven last year, so I knew he wasn't, and he gave Andrew a hard time.
Oh yeah.
So I knew, okay, this guy isn't going to be a walk in the park at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and he wasn't, like his grip strength was just like unreal, like for an older dude. And I was kind of just very, very freaked out that it was my first black belt fight. And so I was like super nervous, went onto the fight. Even when we shook hands and like we bumped hands, I was like, I can't believe I'm fighting as a black belt with another black belt in a competition.
Right.
So I kind of, I didn't do very well in that match at all. So I got,
So you're in your head.
hey?
You were in your head.
Yeah.
I was in my
I
head
think
for
you
sure.
were.
Yeah, I know for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. I think come next year, I think I'll be a lot more
Yeah, the ice is
confident.
broken. It's,
Yeah, exactly.
you'll be
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
So, so that match didn't go very well. So he actually choked me from half guard, which is like, that never happens with me. And I just think he was just starting to, it wasn't really a choke. Like he got a cross choke on me and was like basically crushing my jaw and my neck. And I could feel my neck like going click, click, click. And I was like, nah, I want to at least enjoy the seminar with
Yeah,
Hegan
yeah.
Machado
Yeah.
the next day. So I tapped. And but once that happened, I was kind of like, okay, this is not too bad. And then my second match I had was with David Hart. and that was so David Hart. He basically owns Dominance,
Yeah.
which is like a massive club in Melbourne, and really nice guy. I mean, he's been a black belt ever since I've started Jiu-Jitsu. So to fight that guy was really cool, awesome. So for my goal with that match was, okay, I just want to, if I can survive the entire match without tapping, I'll be happy with that. So, and I almost did. So I think it was like a minute left, and he eventually got on top and triangled me. So I almost got there, but that was a good match. I really actually enjoyed that match. And then my third match, I was on as a guy. I do know his name, but it's like I've forgotten it now.
edit name here.
Yeah, edit name there.
Right.
Also a really nice guy, and had a match with him. Managed to win that match, which was pretty cool. And then
Decision, submission.
Submission, kind of a submission. So I think he had injured he had hurt his rib on the previous match, and
Ouch.
so
You targeted the rib. Kind of assassin. You.
So not on purpose. I just kind of I was on side
Not
control.
on purpose. Hey, this knee right is not purposely put here.
Actually, it's funny when I was on during the match. I went for a knee ride on that side, and I could see his face as soon as my knee started. So I went back down. I was like, "Oh, sorry, I forgot about it."
He's like, "Bro code, man, come on, black belt bro code."
So and then I went to try to get his back and whatever. I think I was going for a choke, and I think just the pressure on his chest and whatever else just a little bit uncomfortable. So yeah, he ended up tapping there. Yeah, but it was good. Got a takedown and got a few passes in and stuff. So yeah,
are we going to review is there videos of it? Because we review other people's matches.
I do have the video on my phone.
It's not this session, but maybe.
Yeah, as I've been talking now, I'll try and put some snippets in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you some pointers when I review your video.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, that'll be good.
I'm the expert. Yeah. Not at all.
It was a privilege, I think, to be there for your first black belt competition.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I thought it was pretty special, mate, and even to get on the podium. That's
Well, talking about podiums, didn't you have some medals around your neck?
Tell us about
I did all right. I was pretty chill right up until it was time to hit the mats, and then it all started rushing back to me because I haven't competed for 10 years.
And you were competing.
The thing is, you haven't competed in a while, and then it was your first competition as a purple belt as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So it all got a bit freaky right at the.
At the fighter's pit.
Yeah. Just at the start line, mate. It all catches up with me. I'm pretty chill. I think I'm in the background of a lot of videos, nearly falling asleep, waiting for my matches. But
this is how you keep warmed up. You have a snooze.
It was a good experience,
Just make sure your mic is close to your.
The gold medal match was against the guy from Bear Cave. Is it Bear Cave Jiu-Jitsu?
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Bear Cave.
So I don't remember any of the names either. I'm not. Yeah.
Now, if we had done our research, we would be pulling up their names.
Yeah. But nice guy, was for first fight back. I think it was a really good opponent to have. He was really cool guy.
Did you have a game plan going in?
Nah, I actually was. I'm still carrying a shoulder injury. I had a cortisone shot 2 weeks before the competition, and I wasn't really on the mats too much in the lead up.
I was going to say, I don't remember seeing you training.
No, I wasn't, and this is not abnormal for me.
Yes,
I'll run into a competition off the couch, mate. It's all right.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I'm happy with the results. I jumped in the absolute as well. Didn't really go too well in there. Lost on points.
But it was a good match though. Like it was really good.
They sort of they laid me out at the end. They had a little lead on points, and I literally heard his coach say, "Just don't move." And I was like, I hate that. But I mean, hey,
that's the game.
That's it. You can't hate on it. But and I just try to rip his arm off with a Kimura right on the last seconds, but just couldn't get it done.
Because I saw, I was starting to watch your match, and then I had to go somewhere else, and then for I don't know, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, what it was, and I came back, and then I saw you actually going for that Kimura. So I thought, oh my word, this match is going really, really well.
If I wanted to win it, I wasn't gonna. I think I was behind maybe 3 or 4 points.
Was that with one of Zero Gravity's guys?
No. Okay. No, that was my next match
with Billy.
Yeah. Because I got caught up straight away. So I finished that match, and they called my name straight away to go again. I was like, "You got to be joking!" And they're like, "Oh, you can have a 5-minute rest." I said, "It doesn't matter. 5 minutes is not going to change anything." So I just jumped straight back on, and that one I lost to Zero Gravity Boy, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, with Billy. Yeah. He's a good dude.
Yeah. Everybody's. I think the sport is just filled with good guys.
Yeah.
You get an odd guy who's a little bit questionable, but for the most part.
Yeah.
It's a forward, is it?
Yeah.
But and I lost that. I got triangled. I just didn't have the energy.
Yeah.
But all credit to him, mate. Fair and square, he beat me.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, that's cool, man. I think it's the level of competition here in New Zealand. I think it's definitely gone up. I think so. Clinton, the Daredevil guy,
Davies.
Yeah, Clinton Davies. So we were at Nationals. Was it maybe 2-3 weeks ago? And so he rocked up there in his division. I mean, Clinton is very good. He travels, he competes overseas.
He's a busy man.
Very, very good black belt, and went in and got beaten by some local guys here in New Zealand, and Sagano as well, who also like amazing black belt, beaten by one of the guys at Tuka. So, and then these guys went off to do was it Pan Packs?
Yeah.
Over in Australia, and basically double golded their divisions and stuff like that there. So it's definitely the level of competition here in New Zealand. The black belts here are very good.
Oh, there's so much more of them now.
Yeah,
there's a lot,
So it's not like we just got, I'd say I would class myself as just like a regular old black belt, but we've got some pretty high level black belts here in New Zealand competing. So it just shows if those, if Clinton and those guys are getting beaten here at our nationals, and it just shows that those guys, if they went overseas, they'd do quite well as well. So so it's good to see all that the sort of the level in New Zealand going up. So
you won a few medals, didn't you? In this?
I got a bronze in the absolute.
Right.
And a gold in my division.
Right.
Gold, man. Yeah.
Gold.
That was good.
I was walking around talking trash. I was coming back with 2 gold medals. Yes. So to come back with those, not too bad.
Dude, that's a really good.
I think I don't talk trash like legitimately, but I think it's a good way to hype yourself up. Just say it and manifest it and Yeah.
Are you saying it out loud or saying it in your head?
Yeah, I'll talk to people. Yeah. People ask, I say, I'll come back with 2 golds.
Yeah.
Nice.
You should have that confidence, I think. No, I don't do it in an arrogant way. It's kind of joking, but deep down, I'm telling myself, hey, go and get something, So
love it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said with that reinforcing, for sure. Yeah. So, and Leo, what have you been...
Oh, that's not about
training
me.
wise.
This is Boss's episode.
Yeah.
Training on what? Training.
Well, you've been injured a little bit, haven't you?
I went back to ground control and got injured. I think I've got a 100% record of going back to ground control and getting injured. So
I think you got the worst luck in the world.
I think I won't go there. It's a great club, but I won't go there for a while.
See, everyone else goes there and they're absolutely fine, but like when you go down there, it's like I don't know. There's something
I
up.
Put my ankle in the wrong place and it hurt. So yeah.
That's how it works.
2 X-rays and all that stuff. And
but your stuff blew up like a balloon.
It did. And it still is. It's still a different size ankle.
Yeah, you can. You got cankles there, dude.
I got 1 cankle, 1 normal ankle.
Yeah,
cankle man. But I'm good. And then a coach gave me a stripe like a week before grading. Don't know why you couldn't wait till grading. And then you told me I had to do a 2.5-minute presentation on 4 syllabuses of the white belt. Yeah. That was fun. Any reasoning behind that, John?
Well, when your time's, it's your time.
It was my time.
Yeah.
It was my time to shine. Was my syllabus all right?
It was very good. Yeah, actually, I've got to post. I'm going to be posting up everyone's demonstration on our Facebook page. So just to
I don't know if you
As the
noticed, there was a
final
lot
ones.
of talking between Ford and I because we learned to, well,
Yeah,
I say we learned to, we learned it on the fly.
Yeah, I was gonna say he
was
didn't
quite
know what was
funny.
going on.
yeah.
It's like,
He,
okay, I'm
he
gonna-
was
Yeah.
reading it, and what I sent him, I kind of changed it in my head, but I didn't really tell him. So on the mat, I'm like, he's
Yeah.
like, what? Front sweep now. What?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
I
yeah,
literally
yeah, I
heard him
mean-
say what a
Yeah.
few times.
Yeah.
Huh?
And one of them, I went, I don't know what's next. And he's like, well, just say something. I was like, oh, okay.
Basic sweep.
Yeah.
yeah, that was quite
Escape.
funny. You guys going, okay, you need to stand up now. like, what? You need to stand.
It wasn't as polished as the other boys who,
Oh,
like,
the amount
Nah,
of time
dude,
you
it was
guys
really
spend
good.
rolling, I don't
It
think
was very
you're going to
cool.
have any trouble, mate. You guys spend a lot of time rolling.
Mm.
Used to.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
so-
Yeah.
I think the whole point of it is like it's just really to show. I think when you start getting to 3, 4th stripe, or especially at 4th stripe, you should be transitioning techniques.
Mm.
So you should know, like, if if I'm close guard, I can go from here to a basic sweep, and then from basic sweep, I'm in mounts. Okay, what kind of submissions can I get from there? That type of stuff you need to. So I think that's the point of them, is just really just to show that, okay, I can go from technique to technique to an eventual submission if I need to.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
So yeah. So no, you guys did really well, and yeah, massive night with everyone. So
It was.
Yeah, it
yeah.
was.
5 blue belts, right? 5?
yeah, 5 blue
That's
belts,
a lot.
yeah.
I don't think would not happen that often in clubs.
Yeah, I think just the guys. I think everyone has come up at that together.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
So, and we've just been lucky enough over the last 2.5, 3 years that
Yeah.
like guys have stuck around.
Well, it's quite good.
So-
There was 3 of them, at day 1 started with John. So that was really special.
Yeah.
And Christoph and Hamish being imports
Yep.
is also helpful for the club,
Yep.
like bringing level across, because they were both sharp. when
Yeah,
they turned up.
that's right. Yeah,
So that was really good. And to have that big bunch of 5 guys do it all together,
Yep,
really cool.
yep. And Boss getting his first drop,
Yeah,
in his
yeah.
FIFA, which
Yeah,
I've still
I
got to
was-
get. I've still got to get the picture, and I still got to do the post.
Did you leave
So-
without a photo?
I've still been
I
looking
know.
for it every day. I look
Terrible coach. Yeah.
for it. Nah.
You've got a bit of a history in MMA or Jiu-Jitsu, don't you?
Yeah, tell it. Actually, that's a good
yeah,
segue
yeah.
into it. Just take us from the start, Boss.
Yeah,
Tell
the
us.
start- It's quite funny, actually.
Tell me you're
Um,
really good. That way I don't feel so bad when you kick my ass on the mat. Come on.
So I had no interest in martial arts growing up, other than watching movies.
Really?
No interest at all. I was working at the Ford alloy wheel plant in Manukau there, and a few of the boys were on their days off. We worked 4 days on, 4 days off. We're doing some of this jiu-jitsu. Had no idea what it was.
What year is this?
Early 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you really like
I-
wearing like wrestling gear, like that Lacro stuff?
I bought a gi. It was
Okay.
oversized. It looks ridiculous. I could even send you a picture.
We need a
to-
photo.
Oh yeah.
to
Send me a
pop up
picture,
on
yeah,
there.
please.
Because I started in no gi, of course, because
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was getting into. I've been a big fan of combat sports, though. I've watched kickboxing, boxing, and we were starting to watch MMA probably around 1999, and we had to download everything Pride, and they took ages to download, and the quality was crap. But I think for me, Vanderlei Silva was the guy who switched me on to MMA. I just thought that's a real fighter right there,
He was Pride days.
He was
Is it
Pride. What was his
days?
nickname?
Yeah.
Sledgehammer.
Ex-murderer.
Ex-murderer. That's it.
Anyway,
Where'd you
so
get
these-
Sledgehammer from?
Well,
Sledgehammer.
yeah.
I was close.
Yeah, I was close. That was
Ex-murderer.
pretty close.
So these guys are going to
Screwdriver.
do this bloody jiu-jitsu out in West Auckland at Don Oliver gym, because Steve Oliver was the guy who was bringing jiu-jitsu back here. He went over and he was training with Hickson. So he spent a lot of time offshore, but his right-hand man, Seth, was my first jiu-jitsu coach. I learned a rear naked choke on my first day.
Hey.
And I was sold on it from there. But before the class even started, I got there before everyone else. They convinced me. They hassled me for weeks before I said, "Oh yeah, I'll come." I turn up there. I go up the stairs. They give me all these directions. I go, "Oh yeah, I think I'm in the right place." So I open the door, and standing in there was Steve Oliver, huge at the time, you know, he was an ex-powerlifter, screaming at Mark Hunt.
Oh, yeah?
Mark Hunt was shadowboxing and he was screaming at him, Spro! And I started closing the door, going, holy, you know, that's K1 World Grand Prix champion Mark Hunt.
So you actually knew who Mark Hunt was before you opened that door?
Oh, so Mark Hunt, yeah, I knew who he was because he's from our neighborhood, you know, so I've been following him his whole journey.
Right.
Yeah, and I was just like, whoa, nah. I tried to take off, and one of the boys stand up and said, no, don't worry, our class is not going to be like that. I was like, man, I hope not. But yeah, and Seth, most gentle guy, you know, he at the time, I think he may have been a blue belt, no, or possibly even white. Was so early days.
Wow.
There was back then. I don't think there were any black belts around. The only one I knew was Douglas Santos.
So what is Steve like? What is he?
He at that time, I think Steve barely was purple.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Like even I remember when he got his brown belt and he went over to World Champs and came back with a gold medal. I just felt like that was like Brazil coming here and beating us at rugby. You know, like I was so impressed. I just thought, man, and I think he was one of the biggest pioneers of jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah,
he spent a lot of time offshore, you know, investing, sleeping on couches, you know, wherever he could get his training in under Hickson. I think he got his blue belt under Hickson, which is astounding. That's a legend, you know. Hickson Gracie's an absolute legend.
Yeah.
So I was really, really privileged to come across that jiu-jitsu. And I mean, we couldn't train properly. We were 4 days on, 4 days off, so we might get 2 trainings in a week. But yeah, that's where it all started.
Was Mark Hunt part of your class, or he'd go off and do something else?
No, he was there camping for Pride.
Right, okay.
Which I was just, my mind was blown because I love Mark. You know, I grew up watching Mark.
Right.
David Tour, Mark Hunt, these guys, they just live stone throw away from where I grew up, you know.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Good idols to have.
Oh man, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
So you start training there, you starting to get some stripes through that club?
Nah, back then, mate, there was no stripes. There was no stripes. I stayed a white belt for 10 years.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I got my blue belt in 2013 at a seminar with Bruno Alves, who was at the time a Gracie Barra black belt.
It would have been in what, Australia, or did he come here?
He came here.
Yeah.
But we took trips over to Australia, to Gracie Barra over there. Marcelo still runs that to this day. And that was actually the first black belt match I'd seen in New Zealand. Marcelo came here to take on Douglas, but Douglas put up one of his other black belts, and it was amazing, man. Like, the level was just amazing. I felt like Marcelo toyed with him, and he's calling out in Portuguese to his corner how much time left, and he said 30 seconds and just armbarred him at will. Like, it was insane. It was crazy. And that was our grading black belt, so it was pretty cool to see. And I think that was the first ever black belt match in New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
And that was held at the AUT on Simon Street.
Yeah. Weren't the competitions there at AUT
Yeah.
like back in the day?
Yeah, my first competition was at Balmoral War Memorial Hall.
Jeez.
And I think there was about 3 mats.
Yeah.
And everybody had a white gi with no patches, you know. And I think back then the guys who were doing well were from rugby and league backgrounds, you know. They were just strong, happy with the contact, you know, already conditioned to contact.
Was this no gi or?
Gi.
Yeah, gi. Okay. Yeah.
Plus my gi was way too big. You live and you learn. But yeah, no striping system. Got my blue belt in 2013, and I asked Steve if I could open up a branch of Oliver out here to make it easier to get to training, and so we could get more classes in. So I did that. We just started training at Alan Brewster Recreation Centre, similar to what you were doing at Te Puru, or exactly the same.
Yeah.
Just some puzzle board mats. Had to set up class, you know, every day, only 2 days a week until we got some traction.
Yeah.
And then I leased out that space, and that gym's been open for 10 years.
Yeah.
So, that was pretty big. I wanted to bring it out to South Auckland because the amount of talent we have out here, you know, like, and just a positive place.
I think
to-
that
to-
yeah.
You know, keep
Yeah.
the kids out of trouble.
Yeah, that's right. So before opening up your spot, where was Steve at that time?
So yeah, when I first started training, the mats was probably about double this lounge space.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
how many
was it.
people?
I guess sometimes there'll be half a dozen of us, sometimes there'll be 12 of us.
That's
Yeah, it was packed, mate.
that's
Like,
getting squishy.
yeah. So that was at Don Oliver's in Glen Eden. And then Steve built a purpose-built facility up the front of that property, and that went on for years. And then he moved out to New Lynn, and he had a huge space there. And he's just moved again, still in New Lynn, but again another huge space.
So he's moved to a different spot now.
Yeah. So he's
Okay.
in New Lynn.
Okay.
He's always been out west though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's had to recover from COVID and all the like he had all that
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on
he
or
was
whatever else. So
Real
Also,
big
it's-
advocate against. Is quite outspoken about it, but
yeah, well, it's good he's like still around and or hopefully recovered and
Yeah.
and competition circuits like coming up again and so it
Yep.
seems to be getting a bit better. Yeah. So okay, so you went from it was the New Lynn and then you opened up in
Manukau.
Manukau.
Yep.
And then basically you had that spot and yeah.
Yeah, and I mean we started just training. Oliver's always had a MMA heavy influence toward MMA, grappling for MMA rather than competitive jiu-jitsu, I think.
Mm.
Although we didn't have any problems getting medals, you know, at the nationals. I mean the competitions are huge now,
Mm.
but still did very well in the jiu-jitsu, but heavy wrestling influence. Steve had a wrestling background coming from Kelston Boys. They've always had a wrestling on offer at that school. So wrestling was a big part of it. But yeah, it was, so my journey's been more around grappling for MMA.
Mm.
I didn't spend probably enough time in a gi, which I regret, you know.
No, but I think it's different now. I think like, you know, if we do part of our year in the gi and then the rest is like we're gonna like in December we'll switch into no gi and then we'll do that for a few months.
Yeah.
And I think the more like wrestling and jiu-jitsu now are just becoming more and more morphed into each other now.
Yeah.
So I think Steve having that background of having wrestling probably at that time probably wasn't as appreciated, but now these days it's like and
well, everybody's figured out, you know, that the key components, jiu-jitsu and wrestling, are the key components to grappling.
Yeah. So yeah. No, cool.
What? Just so I understand, when you were in the blue belt, how much were you doing jiu-jitsu on a weekly basis?
In the lead up to getting the blue belt, I really you got stuck in. You know, I was training regularly because I was still out west, and it was difficult to get there. But I thought, nah, I got to do this, and Steve obviously was happy with. You know, I had been around for a long enough time, but you know, it's about consistency as well. And I just knuckled down, got the blue belt, asked to open up out here. And when I opened the gym, I didn't realize what was going to happen. My training sort of, I was busy running the gym rather than investing in my own training.
Right.
Which was a bit disappointing as well. And then you get politics and stuff.
Welcome to running a business.
No, 100%. I it kind of
well, you do train. It's just different. It's just different training, right? So it's like, so you're on the mat just as long as what everyone else is. It's just you know your focus is just a little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah,
which is harder like blue belts. Like I think when you're a black belt, it's like you've kind of gone through everything.
Yeah.
So
when you say through everything, you mean smashed everyone, eh, John?
Well, you put the time in, I guess.
So I did 10 years as a white belt, and now I've done 10 years as a blue belt, and got my purple belt off John here, which is really special.
I'll tell you why I asked that question, because my first day when I walked in, you were sitting on a chair, but you had an ice pack on your shoulder and you're all strapped up. And I kind of scanned the room and I went, he's a big boy. Like, who stuffed this guy up? Like, who's the real killer on the mats? Like, I got to watch out. And then I think, John, you were like, and this is Boss. And my first question is, I want to see your birth certificate. Is that really your first name?
Yeah, it's on my license, mate. It's yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
It's the best name. It's the best name in the world.
That's for real, mate.
Because like, this is Boss.
yeah.
I'm like, so he's the boss? Like, I'm confused. Wait, is John the boss?
It's good for work, you know. It's a good icebreaker for business for me as well.
It would be.
Everybody has a laugh at it because basically everyone says, "Oh, you're boss." And you are the boss. and my reply is always, but not at home. And everybody thinks that's hilarious.
Yeah. You got that joke
Yeah.
down. So
Yeah.
well, let's talk about that, because I think you're partner with a celebrity, aren't you? Isn't she?
Yeah. No, she is a bit of a.
Actually, we need to get
Celebrity?
Ravinda on. Yeah,
Yeah,
she should have come down with you.
She's
Yeah,
too
well,
famous
I
to be
was-
on the show, John. It's
Okay.
just, she's too famous to be on the show.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
getting there. We got Boss.
She's
We'll go
laughing
up
at
with
me.
you.
I was like, "Oh, I'm going to do a podcast." She's laughing at me because that's her business, mate, not me. It's like, oh, yeah.
Let's tell the audience who your second half is.
Yeah, so Ravinda Hunia. That's my wife, and she's got a show on Sky Sports, UFC on Sky. It's direct communication with UFC to get her guests and stuff.
She knows how to
obviously-
throw a punch.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing. I'm grappling inclined. I like grappling, and she's striking inclined, so it's quite interesting. I hold pads for her sometimes. I'm the worst pad holder. She'll tell you that too. But she's got a passion for boxing and netball. Our house is run by sports. It's rugby league, netball, combat sports.
Yes.
And the TV doesn't get a rest, mate.
Yeah,
There's always something going on, you know.
for sure. Are your daughters, they lean towards netball, or are they just
Yeah, so my
killers?
daughter's. No, I had her doing jiu-jitsu from about the age of 6 till she was about 9, and she was really good. But didn't turn out
Sometimes not.
Your mom
their
was
passion.
telling me the
for
other
her.
day, like
Yeah.
she's saying, she wants, trying to get her
Yeah.
down and do stuff, but so it's difficult. Like, I think that's why we need, like, I'm really this coming year, I want to get focused and try and get a women's group together.
Yeah.
Like, that's my goal next year. Is like, okay, can we just get a good group of women together where we can have like a women's only class where
Yeah.
they can do striking, some grappling. It's their little piece, and I think that'll hopefully bring more women into the sport, and at least like in our area here.
Yeah.
So
It's always a tough one.
yeah, it's hard,
It's especially with jiu-jitsu, it's quite intimate sport. You
Mm.
have to get in each other's personal space.
Yeah.
So it's good when you can get a couple of girls down. I bring Sally across,
Yeah.
just to show that, because she's a long way down her journey now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good, and it's good for other women to see that.
Yeah.
That other women are also doing it, so that they're thriving with it
Yep.
too. Like, so it's one thing I noticed at nationals, how many more women are getting into it.
Yeah.
There were like a lot, like
Yep.
they're competing. So yeah,
Not only that, but like, kids that are women, girls,
yeah,
little
yeah,
girls.
yeah. Like,
They're
other
just-
than the
there's
kids,
heaps.
yeah.
They're
Kids
like-
is just
It's like crazy.
Some of these kids are insane too.
I
Like, the level of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I fear that I've
some
only
of
got
these
a
young
few
ones.
years left in jiu-jitsu before it's too late, and those kids have grown up and
Oh
they're
man.
just flying armbar at me from the door when I
Yeah.
walk into the club. Like, what's going on?
yeah.
Yeah, I was 22 when I started, and I wish, there wasn't much chance of finding a club back then. But, then we got young boys like Adam,
Mm.
who came through the door at 14, and he's
He's all
a bit
right.
of a killer in his own right
He's
now.
okay.
And we got another new young fella, Mackay, who I think is
Yeah.
going to go a long way. Just hungry,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody walks in there and you don't know anything. And then all of a sudden, 18 months later,
Mm.
Yeah,
You're
tables are
wrecking people.
turning. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's funny. It's like there's almost like a bit of a switch that happened at the club where it's just like when everyone first started, and you're rolling with everyone. It's you kind of you're just rolling at a level where you can it's how can I say it's challenging for them, and you're getting something out of it as well. But now, like, geez, I can't do that. Like, I have to, because you guys will kill me if you don't. Which is, it's really good. Like for the level of that for the club that's coming up. So
for the size of our club and the amount of medals won in the nationals and stuff, and the medals that you guys are winning, I think that's a pretty good ratio.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
No, it is.
And sometimes, I got to remind myself, like, hey, he's won multiple nationals, so if he's slicing me, it's okay. But because sometimes I'm just like, man, I need
Adam
to step up my
just
game.
like
but
he's
there's
just
some good people in
super
those
good,
mats.
and I think like he's got his blue belt now, and I was talking to his dad, like we were sitting by the sidelines on Thursday. I think it was maybe rolling with you and like some others, and now his level's like almost just gone up again.
Yeah.
His
like after getting
intensity's
his
gone
belt,
up.
and I was like, "Jeez,
Oh man, him and Jason are always asking questions. Like and that's why they're getting as good as they are, because they're just hungry. And he's turning up every class. He's at all of my classes.
Yep. He's got all of mine. Then he's going to. Then he'll go down to you guys down.
Yeah, I take a small group of guys out on Monday to Oliver South.
Yeah, and then they ground
good.
control Saturday.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah.
These guys are training. Yeah. So it makes a difference. Yeah. But yeah, so you had your place, then concentrating more on like the MMA.
Yeah. I mean, with grappling was our strength, but I brought over some of the best guys that Steve had at the time: Ben Tetai, Chris Ohaya, Rich Barnett, and they're all. Rich became our resident black belt, and he's still there to this day. He's about he'll be knocking on 50.
50,
mate.
Dude, that guy doesn't look 50.
Dude, he's built like Adam. Yeah, I don't know. He's a special dude, man. I got a lot of respect for him. He really loves the sport, both striking and grappling. And he's walked the walk. I've seen him, fight, and he's still out there sparring with the boys, like pushing them, giving them a hard time. But Ben, who's moved up north now, but another pretty accomplished MMA fighter out of Steve's. I was lucky that I had that level of guys come along with me. And then, we started producing our own little competition team, doing really well. We would travel down to Wellington Regionals, Palmerston North, just wherever we could get a comp or a fight in. And even the fighters out of there, we did really well. We're lucky, had some good relationships with like Hamish at Auckland MMA. And to this day, I was just messaging him yesterday because next time he runs an in-house, I might look at getting maybe Benny and Adam involved.
Just to have a have a bit of a crack.
Oh, plus it's a reliable environment. Hamish is a good dude.
Yeah, he's a really awesome dude.
Yeah, we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah. Has he got his black belt now? Because he was a brown belt.
I'm not sure, but I think it might be. Yeah, I'm not sure, mate.
He must, because I think I was a blue belt or a purple belt when he was a brown belt.
Well,
so
him and I were both white belts together, and we used to go down to seminars in Taranaki together.
Yeah. But I think he's more MMA focused, eh?
Yeah. Oh, and very successful gym too.
Yeah.
Got good guys coming out of there,
Yep.
So you've never competed in any MMA?
Yep.
You have done MMA?
No. So in the lead up to opening the gym, I had a hard and fast MMA career because I didn't want to open the gym and not had walked the walk.
Right.
I wanted to experience fight camp, weight cut, and putting it on the line and getting punched in the head, So
and how was all that? What weight
enjoyed
did
it,
you? What
believe
weight
it or
did you
not.
go?
93 kgs.
Woo.
That's a long time ago, mate. 93 kgs. I was like heavyweight. And I'll never see those numbers again, I don't think. But
Never say
unless you
never.
want to. Unless you want to
I
see
had
them.
abs and everything. Oh,
Did
mate.
you?
Yeah, oh, mate. I'll send you some pictures, mate. You can put them up.
It's the only time I can hit them like
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, it was really important to go on that journey before I opened up that gym, you know. So I've had quite a I've done a jack of all trades with the sport, you know. Like I also ran 3 fight cards promotions,
Okay.
which we held at the Auckland Boxing Association. On those fight cards, I used to do a 4-man Jiu-Jitsu eliminator, and back then, so for instance, Clinton Davies was one of the competitors.
Really?
At blue belt level, because the
in,
level
in MMA?
no, jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
In the
yeah.
ring though, in
Oh,
the
wow.
Boxing ring.
Yeah, in the gi. So I get four of the guys who were cleaning up at the competitions at blue belt level, and I think we did purple belt level as well, just because it was easy to get 4 guys willing to do that. Really cool, you know. So the fight nights would start off with kickboxing, and then would move into and then we'd do the first round of the eliminator, then some MMA fights, and the last fight, the main card would be some really good guys. So in the jiu-jitsu tournament though, we had guys in there: Clinton Davies, Leif Jeffries, he's a black belt now, JJ Wilson.
Oh, JJ was like,
Yeah,
dude, that
JJ
guy's like an American in Texas. Like,
dude,
just
he's cleaning up. His jiu-jitsu is insane.
he was insane back when he was here. Yeah,
So yeah, no, all these guys are black belts now, you know. But they competed as blue and purple belts on my shows. It's really cool to look back on.
Did you video them?
No,
Okay.
I've got a lot of photos.
Yeah.
Shitload of photos.
Did the crowd back then understand jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, no. So this would have
They're
been
quite an MMA crowd
about
then.
2015.
Oh,
I was doing
okay,
this,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
okay.
not-
Now they
yeah,
know.
Yeah,
They know.
everyone was pretty aware.
Okay. That's a cool card then.
Oh,
Bit of a
mate,
mix.
if I was looking at the cards the other day, and it's pretty surprising who was on there. You know, Hakaraya Wilson, he's over at Bali MMA now, but he was over with JJ as well for a little while. The Vake brothers, both James and Fol, fought on my cards. A really, really cool experience. You know, like
So you run gigs. You were in one yourself.
Yep.
Which you were 93 kgs. You took some hits to the face, you're saying?
Yep. Honestly, I thought I'd knocked the dude out. I caught him with an overhand right. And in my mind, I was like, he's done. And I looked up, mate, and he was staring at me. I thought, holy shit. But that particular fight, it ended in a no contest because I got poked in the eye.
Oh, no.
But but I thought it was important. I've explored all the facets of the sport, you know. But when it comes down to it, I just enjoy MMA. Grappling for MMA is just is my biggest passion.
Yeah.
My striking training was just enough to get by, you know. Had interesting sparring sessions with some really big guys, man. Like you say, I'm big down here. When I go to Oliver South, I'm small, mate.
You're just average.
Medium at best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're not big, dude. You just got a lot of muscle. Like I've seen this guy deadlift, and I've seen this guy clean a bar. It's like
Forget the deadlift. I've had this guy on top of me.
I can't even pick the
move.
bar up, and this guy's like just flicking it up. I'm like, wow,
That's true.
amazing.
That's true.
I like heavy lifting stuff. Like, but if somebody asks, Lockie gets in the chat and goes, "Who wants to go for a run?" Tumbleweed,
Dude, I'm
mate.
not putting my hand
out
up
of
either.
Well, especially running with that guy.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go running with him.
Like runs like if he's like on a cloud.
Have I told you the story about him when I first joined your club?
No.
So we were down at Omana, and he's running on that footpath that's next to the beach, and I'm with my wife, and my child is on the playground, and he's got his shirt off, and his hair's bouncing, and he looks like a Greek god.
Yeah.
And I go to my wife, I go, that's one of the guys at my gym, and she looks at me and she says, "You're fucked." I'm not going to say that word out loud, but she said I wasn't going to do well, and he's good. But yeah, he looked like a real warrior that day running.
Well, he used to be like a real elite runner.
Yeah, he's told me.
You
He's
know,
told me.
so
It's good for him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
Jeez,
So, boss, you've done a bit.
Yeah, boss.
No, jack of all trades, master of none, really.
You seem to
and
also...
I think my grading reflects that, for 20 years in the sport.
Nah.
But hey, everybody's journey is different, like and it's no regrets, other than I probably could have spent a bit more time in a gi, because I just got obsessed with no gi.
But I think I think this is the great thing. Like, I think when I started the Jiu-Jitsu club here, is like you were one of the first people that got in touch with me, or like, right, this is going to be awesome. And so you've been there from day dot, basically, which has been amazing. And I think when I came to you and said, hey, let's try and do something on a Wednesday, and I couldn't commit to doing a Wednesday, and I wanted it to be more no-gi and MMA kind of related, and like with more wrestling and all that. And like you just like immediately just took that up, and what was even like a second thought, and that I can see that Wednesday is going to start being one of our most popular like favorite classes for people, because I think just the work that you guys have done there just over the last year has been like from the guys, seeing them not having done any MMA, like shadow boxing, all that sort of stuff, to where they are now. It's like it's chalk and cheese.
Oh man.
So the stuff that you and Ravinder are doing down there, and Berend, is just like like amazing.
Yeah. No, lucky to have BB jump on board.
We should actually have Berend, because he's
100%. He's a very accomplished fighter.
This is the thing. Like we got the small little club here, but we've got like very highly we've got Boss, who's been doing this forever. We've got Berend, who's like a ex-pro fighter, and then we've got Neil, who's just like an absolute legend in the
next time you invite someone to our club, maybe like tell us who they are. You just went, this is my mate. And it was a no-gi night. This is my mate.
I did that on purpose.
And then I think he went up to me the first one, and I'm like looking at his size. I'm like, well, he's definitely not white belt. Look at these shoulders and look at these forearms and stuff. And then he just pulls out moves that I've never seen before, and I'm drowning. And I'm like, this guy's not white belt. And then later on, I find out he's a champion ex, UFC fighter in the undercards and all this. I'm like,
Yeah, well, Boss,
I'm glad you found that funny.
It was funny. He come down to a few classes before I'll tell everybody who he is. And mate, Benny's jaw nearly hit the floor. And I said, open up for a little Q&A. I had to cut the Q&A, mate. They would have been there all night.
It was just been asking all the questions.
Oh,
and
man. And fair enough, like it's he's got a lot of stories to tell. He's a lot of Muay Thai fights.
Yeah.
He's been on the undercard of Dricus Duplessis. He's fought for an EFC title.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it was that title fight. He said to me, the guy grappled the shit out of him, and he couldn't do anything, and now it's like he's hell bent on improving his ground game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, he's definitely got one. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. No, he's
come a long way, and man, you can just tell it's a different level of intensity and knowledge of skills, and so it's a privilege to have him, and of course you and others at the club. So
oh man, it's a privilege to be there. I was so excited when John decided to bring Jiu-Jitsu out here, because I wasn't training at all, and I just couldn't fit it into my day. But having it on the doorstep has been gold for me, and for me to just be able to focus on my own training, and just train as a student rather than the guy who runs the club. Cause I was saying to this guy, man, I at some point running the club, it really started encroaching on my passion for the sport. Just the politics, the financial stress of keeping it open and all that, and amongst that, I lost focus on improving myself, and training for myself. So when he did this, oh man, I was so stoked. And yeah, that's why I'm happy to help you in any way I can. Keep it going. So exciting, seeing the young fellas come through out here from day dot. I'm looking at Mackay right now, and he's a fish out of water, but you can just see he's determined, and
Well, his Taekwondo background is going to be like, that's going to come into play pretty,
Yeah, well,
you know, it's, I think, what's his name? Vic has done like an amazing job at that, dude, like just with his
he
training.
did a bit of sparring on my Wednesday class, and man, he was pulling out kicks that we're not teaching, you know. So I was like, whoa. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's just nice to have in the neighborhood, you know. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
I really appreciate
What's
being a part of it.
what's next for Boss Man?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. Get fit enough to have a jam with these new blue belts, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta-
Teach them a lesson or two.
no,
eh?
mate, you got to keep the pressure on, mate.
That's right.
Hey, no. I think one of the greatest thing about the sport is the ego stays at the door, mate. I mean, when we opened Oliver South and Rich was down there, and Rich he wouldn't break 70 kgs soaking wet, you know, and huge guy would come down there and go, the funniest ones when they turn up to the reception, they say, I want to be in the UFC, and you're like, oh.
Did they really say that?
Oh, dude.
Seriously?
Numerous times.
No way.
And the ones who say it,
don't make it.
they don't even turn up. They do the warm-up and go, oh, this is hard. Like, no shit. But they're the ones that flake off the fastest. You
Wow.
know? It's the ones who just knuckle down and get it done.
Yeah.
Oh, man, there's some exceptional guys coming out of South at the moment that I'm really excited to watch. Tyrell Karaka. Tonga, who was just recently on, what's that? It's the promotion, it's the MMA. First round's kickboxing, second round's Muay Thai, third round's MMA.
Oh,
it's
What,
just a-
the
it's a
same
new
person
thing.
doing it? Or?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's
Really?
one fight. So
Holy monkey.
Neil's been riffing some of them, and he loves it because if it doesn't make it to the MMA round, he doesn't have any work to do. So if they're knocking each other out in the first rounds, because you know the refs have to change because the discipline changes.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's quite different, like each
yeah.
one of those.
Oh,
yeah.
I think it's a King of the Ring meets MMA scenario because it's run by the same Jason. Arsenal X, it's called Arsenal X.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Give
so
that a watch.
yeah, Tonga was on there, and we've got a few boys that have been on the King of the Ring out of there, and obviously the Shuriken card. The guys get amongst it.
Yeah.
Shuriken's another one.
They've been doing it they've been doing that for a while.
Oh,
those
yeah.
guys, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even that's another good starting point. Shuriken, Jason Vorster, he runs in-house grassroots fights.
Yeah.
That's another good place to get started, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, now what he's doing with Shuriken, it's amazing, you know. Like, I've been privileged to be a part of cornering and whatever during the years it's been going.
Yeah.
And it's just going from strength to strength, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. More guys actually wanting to get involved in the sport, and yeah. So yeah, that's how I'm hoping for next year. I think what you're saying next year is you want to do more like boxing focus for like the first part, and then second part being
split
more
the class into a definitive striking and then grappling. I think a lot of people will be attracted to the striking.
Yep.
And then we'll be able to bring a few of those into the grappling, because
Yep.
some people just won't even
No, they don't want to do it.
consider grappling.
Yep.
And then once they get in the environment and see it, they go, oh,
Yep.
actually. Yeah.
And other people just don't want to do grappling. Like they prefer just to do the stand-up stuff because they're just using it as more of like a fitness, keep themselves a bit active type thing. So while learning, hopefully, a little bit of self-defense, or just to, because I think people, when you learn to absorb a hit in the head, like just like a knock, like not bad. I'm just, sometimes when you get like knocked in the head, it can be like, you can think to yourself, oh crap, I've just got hit and got hit. But I think if you get used to that rough and tumble, then it's not quite as much of a shock when it does happen. So so I think, and then hopefully a lot of women will be, there at least for that first part of at least doing a little bit of boxing and whatever else. Yeah. So there you go, Leo.
Yeah.
I think for you too.
I got one more question for this man.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What's your story about walking dog late at night and police coming up to you? What's that all about?
Hey, like you said on the other episode, if you doing 75 hard, you cannot be arrested. Right? That was
I think
quite funny.
that's what you told them, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on in the neighborhood, but there were a lot of cops around, and I was out walking in the rain, and they just pulled over and said, "Mate, what are you doing?"
What are you doing in the rain?
Yeah, I was like,
Is this with or without your dog? Because I think at one stage your dog didn't want to walk in the rain.
Yeah,
You took the dog
my
back.
won't walk in the rain, mate.
Right. It's just
I
you
took him out
walking
on the
the rain.
doorstep, and he would just go, "No, you're on your own."
So big boy like you, it's like what, 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah, it was because you know when
Yeah.
you're doing the 75 hard, sometimes
Yeah.
you know the last
You're out there.
workout, mate.
Did you have your
just
drink
to
bottle
squeeze it in.
with you?
No,
Because I'm thinking
Well,
maybe they thought
yeah.
you were drinking while walking. Because
Yeah, nah.
it wouldn't be the clear one that you've got. So like, what's he got in there?
But fair enough, it looked suspicious. It looked
Anyone would have looked
suspicious.
suspicious in those
Yeah, that's
things.
right. And they were like, "What are you doing, mate?" And I said, "Oh, just out for a walk." And I was like, and they're like, "Oh, like, why are you walking in this?" I said,
Well,
oh.
have I got a story for you?
I said, "I'm doing 75 hard," and they go, "Oh, yep. Okay. Take care." And away they went.
I'm going to try and use that next time.
Yeah,
I'm doing
well, so,
something
hey,
else, eh?
Yeah, I heard you guys talk about it, and I think it's true. It'll get you out of anything.
Get you out of anything. I love it.
There you
Excellent.
go.
Well, thanks, boss. I
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
your time on here. Unless you
Oh,
got
man.
any wise words you want to depart us with.
No, I don't want to stuff it up. I think it's gone well enough. Hey?
It's
It's
always
cool. I like the idea of the podcast. You know, getting because I sat down and learnt things about some of the boys that you wouldn't have known.
yeah.
I think sometimes you can just get caught up in the training and forget everyone's a human being, mate, and they do normal human being stuff outside of it.
Yeah,
And it's
true.
nice to learn about people's families, kids, and what they do for work, and yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I think next year when we do the podcast is we'll I want to try and at least like if we have, because we'll have everyone around again, like that's the whole point of just talking as people are progressing. But it'll be good to have like just snippets of shots of them at the club, like doing certain things, and
Yep.
so people can see like what everything's about and what we do, and learn about Leo on the couch, but also on the mat as well. So there we go.
Don't know
But,
which one's better.
Yeah, no, I mean, from my perspective, boss, it's been an absolute joy having you at the club and
Oh,
having you
that's good,
there, and just seeing like what you're doing on on the Wednesdays, which like for me, I just appreciate so much because, not only is everyone's learning these different dynamics of grappling and sparring, which I could never bring. Like for me, I'm just jiu-jitsu all the way. Like I'm a fish out of water when it comes to kind of with shadow boxing. I don't nothing about that stuff, and so just having you guys there, just doing that, and me not trying to pretend that I can actually do this stuff is just just amazing. So I just love it.
It's really important to have that. Like your jiu-jitsu through and through, and that's important for the development of jiu-jitsu, like not to have someone like me who's bit of everything. Like I think it's nice to have that foundational, through and through jiu-jitsu teacher. I think it's good. It's been good for me. I appreciate it. I love the way you teach, very technical. It's been good for me as well.
Awesome, dude.
Awesome. Thank you, boss.
All right,
Your
man.
playlist
We'll
is
leave
pretty
it
good too, actually.
Yeah, what's that?
His playlist is pretty good when he
It's
puts
just
it
an
on.
algorithm, mate.
Hey.
I just put on one song and then it.
I
does
like
it
your
for me.
algorithm.
Yeah.
There you go.
I like the algorithm.
Thanks,
Awesome.
boss.
All right, man.
No
Cheers, man.
worries.
Bye. Cheers.